Oh, folks, what an episode we have today. We got some spicy topics straight from Lorcana themselves to cover, and it's going to be a good one. So we hope you enjoy, and as always, everyone, take it away. So, what an episode we have for you all today. In the early hours on Friday, the Glimmer Game Twitter actually reached out to Lorcana, seeing if they had any questions for us, the players and fans, about the game. And boy, did they deliver. We have a whopping total of 6 questions to go through with you guys today. We can't wait. So, without any further ado, our first question that they proposed to us is knowing that we're revealing gameplay in spring of 2023, what would you guys like to see in the meantime? So, boys, what do we want to see until they release the gameplay?
Some of the stuff that I wanted to touch on with what we want to see until we see gameplay, definitely more of the same, more community involvement from the Lorcana team. Like, this is unprecedented, the way they've reached out to especially us content creators, us as a whole. You got they reached out to Nive, they reached out to Citizens, I believe, a bunch of people. It's good to see. It's beautiful. And something else I definitely want to see more of is they did these little to with like the little snippets of the image that they're teasing for us. I want to see more of that because that's a really fun way to get people involved. It gets people talking. You know what I mean? It's like a puzzle that we all get to figure out together, and that brings us together as a community even more. Ravensburger is being such geniuses when it comes to their social media game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely like the puzzle aspects to their reveals so far. On that side, I know it's a big ask, but one thing I would like to potentially see, it might not be for another few sets or so until the community grows more and that trust is built over time, but giving content creators a card to reveal throughout the spoiler season. I know other communities did this as well, such as Hearthstone and My Hero Academia. They reach out, give a card to a content creator to reveal, and they usually make a fun video out of it. So it would be fun to get that sort of opportunity as well.
Yeah, I think the way that the My Hero did it was pretty cool, where they gave the content creators basically the first scoop, and so they would release their content on whatever platform that they use, and then later on that day or the next day, then the official reveal would happen. That way, everyone only had to tune in to, the official content, still get all the information, but it just gave an opportunity to kind of support the content creators and get them some views, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I definitely could see that. I definitely think for me, I want to see like the slow drip of different news that we have. I would love to see a few new cards along the way just to give us hints, like with different mechanics that could be on a card. I think that'd be really cool. Maybe like you guys said, to give it to content creators to do, because like Knive did, he got to make that video on the new rule with only having two instant deck. I think giving us the opportunity to create a community and build that is something that's really cool. And I think they're doing a really good job with it. So going forward, I would love to see like the slow drip of news, new cards, maybe a few smaller rules there. But I think keeping us all on our toes and engaged is something they're doing really well, and they can keep doing that in the future. That would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of just want to go through like what my thoughts are for like what the next 9 months are going to look like, just to see how wrong I am. But as far as up until the gameplay, what I'm really expecting is just a lot of art and a lot of lore. And I think the lore part is where I'm most excited, because I really want to see them develop, the world and the lore of Lorcana, especially with it being a Disney IP and Disney being so well known for their world building and their stories, and just bringing us into, the world of Lorcana and what it means to be an Illumineer, and what it is that we're doing and why we're doing it, and just helping create that backstory, and that that we can get into as we're playing the game and getting excited about it beyond just the gameplay. um that's kind of what I expect the next couple of months to look like, with some slow drips of maybe some card reveals and things of that nature. And then spring, I'm expecting like gameplay, like slow drip gameplay reels. Like maybe 1 week is this is how the inks and the resource systems works, and then the next week is what each card type is, and then going into deck building, and then the phases of the game, et cetera, until towards the end of spring we've got like a full idea of the gameplay, and they do like a big gameplay reveal, maybe some gameplay at Origins. Assuming they're going to be at Origins, which is I would expect, I think that is when we would see the breakdown of the products, like the boosters and what to expect out of them and all that kind of stuff. Just because that's kind of what's, since Origins is a vendor con, that's what I've seen mostly be presented there, and it's kind of more of just like presenting what you're going to be selling so that you can make deals with other vendors. And then from there, just a hard card drop until release, with Gen Con being gameplay. And I'm hoping starter decks will be available for purchase. And I'm really, really hoping they'll have a starter deck only tournament at Gen Con. That would be sick. Along with like merch and products and stuff like that being revealed at some point along the way during that process. So that's kind of what I'm expecting to see and what I hope to see personally.
Just touching back on what you were talking about with the lore of the game, I'm also very interested to see that, because not a lot of other games dive too much into the lore of their games. Like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just, here's these characters for this set, and there's not really a story.
I mean, Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Already have like their stories defined through other, means, primarily through their animes.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. And the cool thing about like LORCANA is it's similar, where all these characters and stuff are coming from other IPs, so you're familiar with them. But then having the framework of LORCANA itself and what it is and what it means, and that kind of stuff, I think will be important.
So our next question that we got from the people at LORCANA is, what organized play formats and pricing do you want to see? And now, I know for me, this is definitely like the biggest question on what we will see and how we're going to be playing and stuff like that. And in my opinion, Pokemon has been the best game to do it. After I've looked over other games, event style and stuff like that. I know when you say, and for formats, like you say formats, you could say like, oh, there's for Pokemon, there's standard and expanded. Standard having just the newer sets in it, and expanded being the sets that have been around for a while. And I think there is also room for that. There is room for that in Arcana. Once we get more sets and once we get enough sets, I will 100% be up for that. Playing older, because I think once we get like 4 or 5 years into this, these first sets is all going to be nostalgia to us, who are from here at the start. So I definitely think that that's going to be great. But then, as for like formats on how events are going to be set up, I definitely want to see locals. I want to see nationals. I want to see worlds. I want to see all those like big events, but also those little events that are building up to those big events. And then pricing in that, I think money is something that just has to be said. I think it will be. Being a trading card game and looking at other trading card games, money is always involved. Packs and promos and stuff like that. Even I think for just signing up for an event, like pre-release promos is something that Pokemon does really well, and I know Magic does it too.
Digimon does really well with the like participation awards.
Yeah.
Like you get promos for just being there.
Yeah, for sure. And like I know like the regional stamp stuff, those are always really sought out in Pokemon. So I definitely think that they had an opportunity to do those things, and I would love to see it. But what do you guys think? What are your guys' thoughts on that question?
Stop playing chicken with me, man.
No, you can just talk first. You get first dibs from now on, Sean.
Yeah.
Boom, done. No more chicken.
All right, fine. All right. No more chicken. I would like to see, as far as like organized play formats, definitely rotating. There needs to be something that rotates. That's one of my biggest gripes about some of the newer games like Digimon. They don't have a rotation, so at this point the game is getting kind of clogged up. There's a lot just a lot going on. And at some point, uh, in I guess the thing that I dislike about Digimon basically is they don't rotate yet, and the card pool is getting pretty clogged up with a lot of different crazy options, and they're finding they have to ban a lot of stuff now, ban and restrict, like a lot of really good cards that a lot of people were looking forward to playing with have to get limited to one, or you can't use it at all, which is not very much fun for anybody. I think a rotating format is much more fun and much more doable than banning and restricting. Um, I'd also like to see a good draft and sealed environment. I love going down, cracking 3 packs with a group of people around a table. It's the great equalizer. You didn't get to build your deck before you came to the shop. You have to build it on the fly right now. And if you're drafting, you're all getting to see every other card. Like you get to see, oh, they're drafting Emerald Amethyst. I'm drafting Steel Sapphire. You know what I mean? So there's a different set of um, itches that format scratches. So that's as far as like constructed formats and sealed. So like in prizing, I would love to see and this is Disney and Ravensburger, so everything's going to be high quality, that goes without saying. But I'd love to see like limited printing playmats, Champion 2020X whatever. Sealed product, boosters, booster packs, structure decks. Would love to see that as prizing. Merch, hoodies, t-shirts, deck boxes in limited quantity, like promo cards for championship level, participation level, even judge stamped cards can all be really, really fun ways to give people special cards without having to print cards that people can't have without going to an event, because not everybody can. Let's face it. Nowadays, it's a little easier because we have webcams, but it's still not super easy.
Yeah, I'm gonna second Sean on the rotating format because I think that's super important. I don't like eternal formats because it just makes it adds an extra burden, not only of knowledge but also of availability to new players. And it's one thing that's like keeping me out of Digimon right now is like jumping in and seeing like I need these $20 cards that are like commons basically from set 1 in order to be effective in some decks. It's just ridiculous to me. So that's why I like the standard, the rotating formats. It's an easier entry for new players. It keeps things fresh and exciting, et cetera, et cetera. As far as I also agree on the sealed stuff, because especially since that makes a really, really good option for like bigger tournaments to have, for the, quote unquote losers bracket or whatever. So if you drop out of a tournament, you can have, a sealed tournament going on, so you can still stay and be involved in doing stuff without just being like, okay, cool, well, that's the end of my run here. I guess I'll just go home. Right. So I think that's cool as well. Plus it does have additional skills and things to consider. Like it's really fun doing a draft and like counter drafting against other people. Like I don't need this card, but I know it's gonna be really good in that Amethyst deck over there, so I'm gonna snag this so they can't use it because I don't want to have to deal with this card against me. That's always really fun. As far as pricing and setups go, I really like MHA's format and what they've done. They have the standard locals and then regionals, nationals, worlds, along with another format on the side that is outside of that, competitive thing. My only issue with the way MHA does things is that they have exclusive promos for different levels that are actually gameplay exclusives, and I really dislike that. It's really annoying. But if you replace that with something else, then I think that'd be pretty cool. One of the things I was thinking is for locals, for like prize packs, is having promo packs, with just one card in the pack with, various alt arts or things of that nature. But then also within those packs have rarer, more special alt arts of the same thing. So say you have 10 promos of 10 characters or cards or whatever with alt arts. And then each of those can also be a full art or a special foil or something on that nature. And then there's also a winner's pack, which has a special winner stamp, and a judge pack, which has a special judge stamp. So then you have this whole tier of rarities for collectors to get, as well as just fun, pretty new cards for people to put into their decks as well. So, I mean, if you look at 10 cards with 2 different versions, plus judges and winners for each of those, that's like 40 different versions of 10 cards for people to collect. And it gives people an incentive to participate in locals and go to their LGS and participate and be involved and, buy for them. Because I think giving people incentives to go to their LGS is going to be a really, really important thing for this, because I fully expect this game to be available on Amazon and in big box retailers. Fully expect it. So giving people reasons to go to their LGS is going to be very, very important. And I want that to be top priority. Also, I really want full arts. So as many full arts as you can put into the set, please do, because I want full arts.
Yeah, I know one of the things this Pokemon just started is the organized play packs. And if you like go play at locals and stuff like that, new packs like 3 to 5 cards, and it just has like the Pokemon Play logo on it or the stamp on it, and I think that's really cool. You can collect the whole set and stuff, so that's something like you said that would be really cool and very handy to get people to come to their LGSs more often.
Also, like you said, with them not being game mechanically exclusive, it's also important because not everyone is able to go to these things, so they're not gonna be missing out on the card that they need for their deck if they are not able to go to these special events. That they'll be able to get them in the boosters or whatever packs.
For sure. And on that note, that was something else I wanted to touch on was I want full webcam support for the different organized play, whatever levels they are. Because for a variety of reasons, we'll have an entire episode on webcam in the future, but I think webcam is really important. It's good for the game, good for the community, and it's something that needs to be supported and is here to stay.
Yeah, and I didn't have too much to add to this. A lot of the prizes and stuff that you guys mentioned are things that I want as well. But for the format, a couple ideas I had. I know Pokemon has age divisions, and being this family style game, I think we're going to see players from all different age ranges. So I think it would be good to have age divisions for these competitive events. And then also, like you were saying earlier, with the formats for these big events, because it's Ravensburger, I just think it would be fun if they brought out a bunch of Ravensburger games to play on the side so they can have like a little villainous tournament on the side, or even like doing puzzles on the side as well. Just whole different Ravensburger things that they could do.
All right, so the third question that they proposed to us was, which characters would we all like to see in the game? And we each come up with 3. So Spencer, what 3 would you like to see? Because I know you have a very a character that you would love to see for a specific reason.
So yeah, I've got all of these characters, but yes, the one character that is I'm least likely to see, I very much want to see for a specific reason. I wanted to touch on the fact that they already covered 2 of my big characters, which was Stitch and Robin Hood. Though I'm super excited to see what they do in terms of Dreamborns for Robin Hood, because I want to see what they come up with him for that. And with that being said, my first character is another character from Robin Hood, which is Alana Dale, which I'm sure most people don't know who that is because I had to Google what his name was. That is the Rooster, aka the narrator from Robin Hood, and I just love that character. I think he'd be super fun. He's super cool. I have no idea what he would do, but I want to see him for sure. So give me the Rooster. So my next character is going to be, because this movie has stuck with me for forever, because it is just all the feels, and that is Todd the Fox from The Fox and the Hound. I got to see my boy Todd. I got to have the feels just looking at him for sure. need him. And then the final one is Wild Wing from the Mighty Ducks animated series. Now, I understand that it's an animated series, and it is probably not high on the list of ones that we're going to see for a long, long time, but I want to see him because he's awesome. I loved the Mighty Ducks series when I was a kid, and the real reason I wanted to be excited about this is because I'm a tribal player, and I want to see tribal decks, and I think Wild Wing would make an amazing character for a duck tribal leader. And I want to see Duck Tribal. Disney has so many ducks for some reason. I don't know. But so many ducks. And they're all different. And they all do cool stuff. And I would just love to see an awesome Duck Tribal deck with like Wild Wing and Darkwing Duck and Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And whatever the Robo Duck that you showed me the other day, Sean, from DuckTales, whose name I forget.
Gizmo Duck.
Gizmo? Is that his name? Gizmo Duck?
Yep,
yeah.
Gizmo Duck.
Like all these different crazy duck characters from all these different duck IPs that Disney has. I need Duck Tribal. That's all I'm saying. It needs to happen. And Wild Wing's gonna be the leader.
Okay, for mine, I am going to go with Belle, which is my favorite Disney princess growing up. I just love reading, and I connect with her very much on that level. And then next, I have Chernobog from Fantasia, the big old demon guy from The Night on Stony Mountain. Yeah, The Night on Stony Mountain. Yeah, Chernobog from Fantasia, just a big, scary-looking card, and I could just see all different kinds of full art cards being done with him that would just look amazing, in my opinion. And then last but certainly not least, and probably one of the most likely besides Belle that I have on my list is Donald Duck. I just have a huge connection with Donald, especially with my grandfather, whose name is Donald, and he was such a big Disney fan. So I would really just like a Donald Duck card.
All right, so my three characters. My first one I'm going to go with is Miko, the little raccoon from Pocahontas. If you guys remember that one, I just remember being a kid watching Pocahontas. I'm very much a '90s Disney kid, so like Mulan, Pocahontas, Tarzan, Hercules. Those are my favorite Disney movies because that's like what I grew up on. I was like 6, 7, 8, 9. You know.
Wait. You guys were alive in the 90s?
Yeah, dude, it's pretty. I was alive in the 80s,
Shut
bro.
up. Shut up.
Yeah, I was alive in the 80s. The tail end of
Child.
it.
I just took a sip of my water, and as soon as Levram said "shut up," it came right back out.
Oh, that's so good. All right, so Miko, the little raccoon from Pocahontas. Pocahontas, along with my next pick, Pocahontas is very special to me too because I am Native American. So I felt more of a connection to this movie and the next movie because of who I am as a person, and I really I watched him a lot as a kid, and I love them. And Miko always made me laugh. Just he'd always steal John Smith's biscuits, and he would always mess with the little pug. Just super funny, great comedy, and never a spoken line, just little chirps and stuff, little raccoon noises. Anyway, my next pick, I would definitely like to see Mulan, the titular character from Mulan. I'm also a quarter Japanese, so seeing Asian representation in a Disney movie was also really special to me as a child. And she's pretty amazing, man. She arguably has the most combat training out of all the Disney princesses.
Definitely.
I mean, I could see her being a really, really good red card, personally.
She definitely has the highest.
And for my third pick, for real, she does. She 100% does. Yeah, for reals, dude. Like like a lot of people didn't make it out of that avalanche, bro.
I definitely want to see that as some sort of event card or something.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That might be the biggest body count of any Disney movie. Just, honestly, like
I mean, it was a whole army. Like,
just on sheer
let's be
scale,
real.
you know.
Yeah.
It was a whole army. All right, so my third pick is Tarzan, and I loved Tarzan as a movie mainly because of the soundtrack.
It's great.
That
Oh
soundtrack to
yeah,
that movie is just
Phil
banger after
Collins,
banger. Dude. Phil
definitely.
Collins, exactly, man. Phil Collins really did a great job with the soundtrack, and it's an amazing movie. It's the animation is really good. I always thought I was a skateboarder growing up, so like him doing the surfing down the vines was always so cool to me. So yeah, those are my three picks. I think they'd all be great additions to Lorcana.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. So when I made my list, I had to think long and hard because my top two are Belle and Chernobog, like Blake. So I had to think about what my next three were gonna be.
Sorry, bud.
I so Beauty and the Beast has always been like my family's Disney movie, and I so that's why my first is gonna be Gaston. I think I could definitely see him as a big baddie in this game, having a high cost count, but a big impact. But like I could also see him being somebody that has like you play it and then you get deducted something because he really honestly stupidly died in the movie, or at least in the live action one. Uh, and so I could see him like being played, having an effect, and then exploding himself or something like Electrode always does in Pokemon. If anybody gets that reference. Uh, but my second one is gonna be Olaf. I think an Olaf card is just needed in this game. I could see Josh Gad being somebody who actually picks up this game. I think he would just like joke
Oh
around
yeah.
with it and stuff like that. That would be awesome to see. If I played Josh Gad and he was playing Olaf, my dreams would be met. I would get up, hand him the win, walk out, and go home. I would be done.
Shoot, I want to
Uh,
play Kristen Bell.
so that's my third one. Ooh.
Same.
uh, and then my last character is gonna be
Teddy's
Prince
like, we're just
Charming.
gonna ignore that one.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going. Prince Charming is my third character. He's just an all around good human. He's a good man, and I definitely think that having him in the game is something that's just pretty cool. It would definitely be a good card to have. I think a full art with a sword or like a horse coming across the page or the card is going to be something really cool for that. So that is my final character. And now for our fourth question is where would you like to see tournaments and events? And I want to have Sean kick this one off because he has an amazing idea and I was absolutely blown away when I heard it for the first time.
All right, so this is like kind of me shooting my shot because I know there's going to be at least a couple of people at Ravensburger that listen to this. I want to see a Disney cruise with a Lorcana theme. So say you invite a bunch of players. You could make it open to just registration, or you could have it also be part of like the Worlds series or the Nationals series. You could have it. Basically, what you do is we would all hop on a cruise ship with all of our cards. And yes, this has been talked about a lot in the Discord. I'm not the only one that brought this up, and obviously the inspiration is from Yu-Gi-Oh, the anime. So we all just want to live out our childhood fantasies, you know what I mean? So we hop on this ship for like a week's long travel to Illuminary Island, and that could easily just be like a resort that Disney has working relationships with because I'm sure there are a ton of them. And then you basically just challenge people along the way, relax, swim around, have some good food. And when we get to the island, it would culminate in like a multi-day tournament, kind of like a convention, basically, with all sorts of side events, multi-skill level events, casual, competitive. And like I said, you could have something like this be where Worlds ends, and this could be the World Championship. Do you imagine how many people would pay for tickets to get on this ship and go and travel to Worlds and be able to play the whole time?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I think that's just a crazy great idea. I don't know the logistics. Clearly, I'm a big picture guy. I'm an ideas man. So Ravensburger, you get a hold of the Glimmer gang if you want our help to do this.
For ideas, not money.
Exactly. Not monetary. You guys got the money. You guys are the ones with the bags right now.
So my idea for where I want to see tournaments and events is a bit more simple, and that is locally. So for myself, that's New Orleans. So I want to see regional, something of that nature in my backyard. And I think that goes for a variety of people. So having as many tournaments in as many accessible locations as possible, I think is really important and something that we want to see. And then also, like I've been mentioning before, webcam, because that opens up a lot more options for a lot more people to be able to participate across the board.
Oh yeah, especially for those who usually have to travel across country or several countries to just go and participate in an event. I know for us living in Canada here, uh, sometimes we get put to the wayside and we're kind of expected to just go to the events that are happening in the States. Like, I know some other games do have some, but not nearly as many. So, a lot of people that do want to compete in the competitive scene, they had to do the couple that are in Canada, and then they got to pick up another 2 or 3 in the States. So that can add up to a lot. So having a little more love in Canada would be appreciated.
So yeah, for me, I think this is something that everybody would want to see. Is some stuff in parks. I definitely think Anaheim, when they do reach a world competition, I think Anaheim will be the first place they have that. I can confidently say that because they have the Anaheim Convention Center right down the street from Disneyland. So it's just an obvious choice, I feel like. Unless they did in Seattle, like where Ravensburger is, their company, their North American complexes, I think that could also work. But I definitely see like at Orlando, there's room in the hotels. I think Swan and Dolphin would be a good place to do it. Uh, but they have options to do it at parks and even worldwide. They could do like Disneyland Paris, Tokyo Disney Sea, all that stuff could be options for it. And then something that Nive brought up to me uh, in Discord was have one in Chicago. This is my idea. He said have one in Missouri because that's where Walt Disney grew up. But I said also have one in Chicago because that's where he was born. So they could do like the Walt Disney Classic or something. I think that would be a really cool tournament to have, just honoring him. Because in reality, he's the one who is given this opportunity to play this game because if it wasn't for him, Disney wouldn't be a thing. And I think having those to honor him would be something that could be really cool, and I think would mean a lot to the not just to the Disney fandom, but to uh, anybody who supports that brand as a whole.
Yeah, that's a really neat idea. I hadn't even considered that.
Okay, so our fifth question is who will you play Lorcana with? And who will you be teaching your friends and family to play after we teach you, of course, was a little comment that Lorcana said. And I know for me, it's mostly going to be my LGS and Lorcana HQ peeps because not many of my family and friends know or play a lot of TCGs, but I'm definitely going to be that guy at the corner of the room saying, "You want to go play this? You want to go play this? Can I teach you?" And then hopefully I get them hooked, and slowly but surely I can come home and like just sit down at the kitchen table with my parents or my friends and play. So that's something that I will be wanting to play and teach with.
I'm looking forward to playing with my son. I have an 11-year-old that I already played Digimon with quite often. Um, Honestly, I'm a little worried. He has actually just started showing a lot of interest in the Pokemon TCG. So I'm not going to stop him. He can play whatever games he wants. But I'm like, man, I don't have to learn another game. Like, play the games I want to play, buddy. But he's getting older and he's developing his own tastes, and I like that he's something that I introduced to him. He started playing Magic the Gathering, really simple Magic the Gathering with me when he was like 8, so that was really fun, and I want to carry this through with my younger son, who just revealed to me that he watches Yu-Gi-Oh and he wants Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So it runs deep in my family, apparently.
You're going to be owning them all soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be getting everything. So I'd also I have a pretty tight knit group of buddies that I play Magic with every Monday. We play Commander and hang out and talk about the week. Most of us have kids, that kind of thing. I keep bringing it up to them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's kind of cool, man." And they don't have the same hype for it as me, but as soon as product comes out, or even proxies, I plan on making proxies. So I'll be building decks, and I'll be like, "Hey, you guys want to play some Lorcana?" And unfortunately, my LGS doesn't want to carry it as of today. They don't want to carry it. I don't know if that'll change, but yeah, the owner indicated to me that at least it doesn't look like it. I guess I shouldn't say no, but he said he doesn't really think he wants to get involved with something big Disney like that, because that's a whole nother level of fandom and craze, which I understand. It still bumps me out. And our Lorcana HQ members too. I think we're all in unison that there's going to be lots of webcam games and even Discord ran tournaments. So that'll be a lot of fun too. And strangers. I'll play with strangers too. I don't care.
Some homeless guy off the side of the street. Hey, want to play Lorcana?
You guys sound like you're going to be some of those rare hunters from the Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes.
Anime, the guys in cloaks and
Yep.
just hitting up people on the street, and it's like, we want
Exactly.
your cards.
Oh, that's such a good reference.
Or I was gonna say that Sean's gonna be like going over to the people playing chess at the park and just like smack the chessboard off of it and just drop down 2 decks of Lorcana and be like, "I'm gonna teach you a real game."
Yeah,
Grandpa,
dude, that's
play
life
with me.
goals now, man. Yeah, that's life goals now.
but then after Leverum's comment, I'm just imagining like the little kids in the Pokemon games that you're just walking down the road and it's like, bug catcher so and so wants to challenge you to Lorcana. Just like seeing Sean just sitting on the sidewalk somewhere and someone walks by and he's like, Lorcana now. He's just like, I'll play with strangers. He's like,
Oh my God.
I'm just seeing Sean just go around his local neighborhood, just finding random people, and just be like, "You want to play?"
I can't wait.
He's going to be working at the bar. Instead of giving somebody his drink, it's going to be Lorcana now.
I don't feel like playing my tab. Oh, sure, but you got to beat me in Lorcana first.
People are coming to my restaurant. You'll have to beat me. You'll have to beat me in Lorcana before I make you food.
I know for me, my wife and I will definitely be playing at home. I'll try to see if I can wrangle some of my siblings and other family members. And again, I'll definitely be trying to take part in my local game store to see if they need that kind of person. And if not, I'll just be that guy that's in the store just being like, hey, come learn to play that. Stop playing Magic. Come play over this here. Lorcana's fun.
Yeah, I'm 100% going to be spearheading it at my local game store, as well as hopefully getting my little nephews into it. One of them's definitely too young. I'm hoping the other one's going to be old enough to be able to get into it. We'll see by the time the game comes out. And then potentially setting up a school TCG club for the kiddos. If I can start one, that'd be pretty sweet. And then, of course, webcam. And I'll be teaching in whatever venue I need to be teaching in.
Okay. So, our final question that we got from Lorcana, and this actually came through a DM, which is pretty snazzy, is what sort of game accessories might you want to see from the game? And for me, I said playmats and all that would be amazing, and I would love to see that. And I know you guys have some stuff to talk about with that. But for me, it's dice, 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 dice. I won't say it again. I am a huge fiend for dice. I will buy whatever they put out. And I think that's something, if they incorporate dice with the game, I would be in love. If they don't, it's not the end of the world. But dice is something I've always loved collecting. And so that is what I want to see, like maybe like a six-sided die, and then like that goes along with amethyst, and like the amethyst logo is the one side. Something like that, like what Pokemon does with their set symbols. So I want to see stuff like that, and I think that would be a really cool touch. Just a small thing, but it would be really cool in the long run for me.
Yeah, I agree with the dice, or just general like physical tokens for the game. Like, I know the one of the most speculated cards is like a sorcerer's apprentice Mickey that generates little brooms tokens, and having an actual like little broom token to put on the field, that would be really neat. Or actually having token cards would also be really cool. And then also collectible pins surrounding the different alternative forms of the characters. I collect pins like a madman. I have dice and pins. Those are my two main collectibles. So those would be great.
Nice. Yeah, for me, I need playmats of the ink art that they have shown over the last week or two because they would be epic, and I need them, and I will collect all 6 of them. Absolutely. I also had dice on my list, specifically acrylic dice. I need my clear acrylic dice. I hate cheap plastic dice. With the ink logos, like in matching colors. So, like, you have an acrylic dice that's like looks like amber, and it's amber. And for the 6, it's got the symbol for amber. Like, that'd be sweet. Um, life counters, life counter dice, whatever. I don't know what the lore or life or whatever the situation is for this game, but some sort of counters. Um, Dragon Shield sleeves, specifically, art sleeves, art card binders, basically anything that they can slap the gorgeous art on. That's what I want to see. Also, saw this pretty sweet Funko Pop for Marvel Midnight Suns of like the special Iron Man from them. So I would love to see like some Dreamborn or Floodborn characters as Funko Pops. So give me that Rockstar Stitch Funko Pop. And I don't collect Funko Pops, but I would buy that for sure.
Yeah, I will say with the ink play match, I really like the matchups that you put together with like two of the inks and having them side by side. Those would look really neat as well, especially as like, yep, I got my steel ruby playmat for my steel ruby deck.
Yeah, I can't get over the accidental symmetry for the Emerald Amber one, but it looks so good. So good, and I need it.
Oh yeah.
They all look great, honestly, man. They all look fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
I think some really cool accessories, and these aren't necessarily game related accessories, but I think like shirts and hoodies are definitely would be a hit, especially from event ones, but also ones that you could get just like off the website or whatever, just with like a big Lorcana logo right on the chest in whatever color you want, like on a hoodie or a t-shirt. People would rock that. It's a cool looking logo, you know what I mean? And hats, definitely. Like you'd go like snapback, beanie, and like dad hat. Cause like I know I don't like dad hats personally, but I know they're trendy, so like they would sell. And like I'm just gonna agree with everything you guys have brought up so far. They're all brilliant ideas. I really like the collectible pins idea because like something I found out coming to this Discord is like you all collect pins. Like I didn't know that was a thing until I came to this Discord, and I've seen so many people with like bulletin boards full of pins. Like maybe not you, I meant like the Discord as a whole. Like there's a ton of people on there that collect pins.
No,
like, and it's a thing.
That was me. That was me that shared my picture of a board with.
See,
pins.
exactly. See, I know. I think Ixia collects pins, but he's like a Disney maniac. He goes to the parks like legitimately every week or every other week because he's got the year pass thing. Yeah, he loves Disney. He's like the Disney guy. So yeah, that's like basically everything I can think of. Dice bags, like all the same stuff that pretty much everybody else does, except it's not all great quality. Some of the stuff you can get that's like branded, but like some of it is. It's a hit or miss sometimes. So hopefully Ravensburger and Disney, they'll go to like the good manufacturers and the partnership with like the high end people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Also, like just on the clothing part, I'm really particular. I don't like having like big images on the front of my shirts. I would much rather have like a little like badge type thing, like where your front pocket would be, and then have the image on the back. Like that's just me. Just throwing that out there. Just for options. Yeah, you know, like
I would totally rock a Lorcana polo. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yes, for sure.
yeah, that'd be cool.
And they could do like not just logos, they could do glimmers too. They could do like tell me like if we do inevitably get a fire Elsa, which I would assume someday in this game there will be a fire Elsa, just because why not? That on a shirt, tell me that wouldn't sell like crazy.
Elsa anything
Yeah.
would sell well.
That's true. You're not wrong. Give me an Elsa of every element, and they're
There
all
we
gonna
go.
sell.
Elsa Airbender.
Yep.
Confirmed.
Elsa Poison Ivy can control plants.
Yeah. What about like
all of it?
What about like jerseys and like the jersey colors are in like the ruby or whatever.
Jerseys.
And then on the back, like it's like it would be like Stitch Rockstar would be the name, and then the number is actually the number of the card in the set. So if Stitch Rockstar is
really cool.
It's like 52 out of 305, then the number would be 52.
I like that a lot. That's really cool.
So those were all the 6 questions we had from Lorcana. I think we all mentioned that this is really cool that they're giving us these things to talk about and collaborating with the community. And we are super happy and excited to see what they bring to the table to the future. So we all hope you enjoyed, and we will see you guys soon. Wow, what an episode that was. We had an amazing time recording this, and we hope everyone enjoys it as much as we do. I can confidently say this is one of our favorites. But for now, keep a close lookout for our holiday special series releasing soon, and thank you for listening, and Glimmer on.